Velma comes out as lesbian in new Scooby-Doo movie. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how Velma comes out as lesbian in new Scooby-Doo movie. Let's get right into it. A viral clip from the latest Scooby-Doo movie, which was released on streaming services this week, settled decades of speculation and fan debates in just 13 seconds. Velma Dinkley is gay, undeniably, unequivocally gay. The scene is from the episode Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo, and shared on Twitter begins with Velma as we've always known her. Short brunette bob and bangs, black rectangle glasses, and that iconic bulky orange turtleneck and maroon pleated shirt. She walks past her fellow sleuths, Daphne Blake and Fred Jones, carrying a box of Scooby snacks for the eponymous Great Dane. But she stops mid-sentence. A lush orchestral arrangement starts playing. A series of captions pops up on the screen, highlighting different features of the woman standing in front of her, the costume designing crime boss, Coco Diablo. Velma exhibits all the telltale signs of cartoon swooning. She blushes, her eyeglasses fog, she sighs, jinkies. In a later scene, Velma professes her thirst for Diablo outright to her best friend, Daphne Blake. She said, "I'm crushing big time, Daphne. What should I do? What should I say?" This is actually not surprising news. Velma Dinkley has sparked endless speculation among fans, particularly about her sexuality, since her bright orange jumper and red skirt first appeared on our screens. Take a look at all of the artwork, fanfic, and theories that celebrate this aspect of her character on the internet. There's even an entire subculture on Pinterest dedicated to it. It's easy to understand why, given Velma's constant concern for Daphne's safety, not to mention how little she seems to care about boys. Velma would check most, if not all, of the boxes on a queer checklist. Despite the fact that Velma's history is littered with queer references, it wasn't until 2020 that the creators of both the live-action Scooby-Doo and the rebooted animation, Mystery Incorporated, confirmed our suspicions, revealing that Velma is in fact queer. The forum of discussion that this further opened up about Velma's tastes was what made this big, or should we say unsurprising reveal, so intriguing. After all, Velma ended up with a boyfriend in the live-action sequel Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, not to mention her relationship with Shaggy in Mystery Incorporated. Before this confirmation, many fans assumed Velma was a lesbian. She wasn't into boys because she wasn't attracted to them. But then came the boys and Velma seemed to connect with those she dated, even if her relationships didn't work out in the end. Whatever side of the debate you take, the main point is that Velma Dinkley's canon is now officially queer. You can interpret her identity however you want, but don't try to make our queer queen straight. Velma's queerness has always been present, even in early seasons of the show. She's always been on the periphery of dating topics, never committing to anything or anyone. She had no choice but to be that way, at least without inciting a riot from concerned parents. Won't someone think of the children? Queerness was not openly discussed or accepted when the Scooby-Doo Where Are You series first aired in 1969. Of course, it had always been a part of society, but it had to be kept hidden because LGBTQ+ didn't exactly sell the American ideal of heteronormativity. This is when the coded queer began to have an impact. For those unfamiliar with the term, queer coding refers to the methods by which LGBTQ+ content hides in plain sight of its audience. It's been a standard method of embedding queerness into various mediums for centuries without upsetting the heteronormative world in which it resides. Fast forward 60 years and queer coding is still a popular filmmaking device. Just look at the 2019 remake of Little Women. Despite the fact that queer characters are still hidden, progress has been made in combating this coding legacy. Consider Mystery Incorporated's producer, Tony Cervoni, and how he revealed Velma's sexuality in an Instagram post. The image in question depicts Velma and Marcy Fleach in front of a pride flag. The producer then continued to address Velma's queerness by taking to Twitter in a thread that's since been deleted. Cervoni stated without any shadow of a doubt that Velma is a lesbian. I've said this before, but Velma in Mystery Incorporated is not bi, she's gay. And if you follow the entire Marcy arc, it seems as clear as we could make it 10 years ago. This not only settles the debate while also serving as the catalyst for Velma's official coming out story, but it also demonstrates how queer coding influenced the series. Cervoni wanted to bring an injustice to light, even if it meant nearly driving the fandom insane in the process. While there was much joy, not everyone accepted the idea that Velma is canonically queer. They prefer to believe that Cervoni was only referring to her portrayal in Mystery Incorporated, given that the aforementioned Marcy arc never showed the two addressing their feelings for one another, but instead led to further coded moments. It's easy to see why some people are opposed to the idea, especially those who are not members of the LGBTQIA+ community. This is why there is no mention of Velma's homosexuality in the film, and why the sequel forces Velma into a romantic relationship with Patrick Wisely, played by Seth Green. Instead of supporting Gunn's vision, which could clearly see Velma's sexuality for what it was, the studio denied her queerness through compulsive heterosexuality. Queer fans are used to having to look for hidden queer messages in creators' content, but what about others? They're not looking for it because they don't understand what it's like to be overlooked. Cishet content is still prevalent. That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.